Okay, and we're live. Hello, ladies. Today we have an amazing guest, an amazing speaker. I love speaking to Benita, and we have so much in common. And the subject that we are going to talk about today is such a great subject. So Benita is a love coach, and what she does uniquely as well is that she actually can hold your hand through your dating process, through your dating game, and be there for you all the way through. And we all know who has ever dated. It's probably we do need someone to hold our hand through it. It's not always, it's not always fun. So, Benita, please share more about your work, how you do what you do, and how long you've been doing it.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for having me here, Anastasia. I love meeting up with you. Whenever we do, we create loads and loads of value. So I'm looking forward to this discussion and to creating value in your group. So yes, I mean, I started out in the love industry about 10 years ago, or 11 years ago in 2009 as a matchmaker because I was successful, high achieving, and I just wasn't finding a partner. So I tried online dating, speed dating, matchmakers, whatever there was, I was determined to find a husband. And when I signed up with a matchmaker, it didn't turn out to be such a great experience. Um, and so I then decided to open up my own matchmaking business to clean up the industry. And that's how I got into this industry. And then as I was sort of like matching my clients, I realized like some people need way more help than just being introduced to someone they find attractive because they'd find themselves in exactly the same seat 3 years later, having done a full circle, like engaged, divorced, and single again. And that's how, so I completed a coaching qualification and I later sold the matchmaking side of the business. I love matchmakers. I think they have a really great place in society. And I've met Tracy, who's in your community as well. She has an amazing matchmaking company. And, I just know that with coaching, I can help pretty much anyone and everyone who wants to be helped. With matchmaking, it really depends on who's on my database, right? And who I have to introduce you to.
So do you still have a database? Do you still work with
No, not
people?
at all. I sold that side. I sold that side of the business completely. So now I've focused solely on coaching and I work with high achieving women. And the reason why is because when we're constantly doing, taking charge, making decisions, getting the job done, I mean, we need all this masculine energy to be successful in life, right? But then these women try and apply that same sort of approach to their love life, and it doesn't work because they're in masculine energy. And what they do is they're pulling away men, right? Because they're doing all the work. And you need like the polarity of masculine and feminine in a relationship or in a romantic environment in order for there to be attraction. So a lot of my ladies are like, I have second and third dates and then it just like fizzles out, or these men are so flaky, they don't phone, they don't follow up. And well, that's because you're in masculine energy, and the men can't even explain it. When they meet you, they're like, you're beautiful and you have so much going for you, but there's just nothing. And it's because there's none of that attraction because they're not in their feminine energy, they're in their predominant masculine energy.
Oh wow! And how do you help them to get there? Because
Wow.
it wouldn't be easy.
It is an amazing transformation. So, I mean, I focus on the internal work first and then the external work. Now, the internal work is about 3 months, right, of working with a psychotherapist, doing belief work around men dating and relationships, doing vulnerability work around men, authenticity work, femininity work. So And a lot of it is sort of what you do as well, but I think you do it at a much deeper level, at an overall level where I just focus on love. Okay, so what do we need to change in order for you to find healthy, lasting love, right? And then when we've done that bit, then we look at the dating step by step, and that's where I sort of work for another 3 months with my clients, and I handhold them through dating and how to make sure you don't waste time on the wrong dates with the wrong men. So I have like a signature dating process that I call the smart dating process, because what do? We think that, and I don't know who taught us this, but we think that going on a date means that I need to meet someone to see if we're compatible. And I'm like, no one's got time for that. No one's got time to do that. We want to make sure that we're compatible with someone before we date them. So we have a whole screening process that we go through online and telephonically before we meet someone face to face. Because let's face it, time is such a valuable commodity. We can never get it back. So getting dressed, going to a date venue and spending like half an hour or an hour with someone that you've got nothing in common with is absolutely soul destroying. And I know because I was there. I went on something ridiculous like 60 dates in 2 months because I was determined to find my husband, 13 years ago. But yeah, if you have a process that's been streamlined, dating can actually be fun. It can actually be exciting. It can be a process that you enjoy and that you step into in empowerment. Like you teach your clients to be empowered in their own lives, right? By making decisions, by what they would allow in their lives. I do the same with dating.
Yes, absolutely. First of all, knowing what you want, and
Mm.
then yeah, standing in that place of power, and also a bit of a detachment. Because I don't, I don't assist people with dating, but I do have, and I did have quite a bit of clients that were at that stage in their lives when they were going through dating or looking for a partner, and the amount of anxiety that comes up, the amount of those concerns of why he didn't message me back, and I sent him a message 10 hours ago, and he still didn't look at it, and all those little bits and pieces. How do you help women to um, move through that, because once this thought is there, it's looping, isn't it? And it does take the joy out of the process.
Definitely. So, I mean, Anastasia, because you teach your clients when they step into I think you call it your higher self or your authentic self or
Yeah,
your sovereign self,
sovereign
right?
self. Yes.
That's what you call it. I mean, it's very similar to that in dating. It's just like having this knowing in your heart at every level that you were destined for an amazing relationship and that it will be. Like if you don't have that knowing and that complete belief that it is, because first of all, when you have a want or a need or a desire, when it's been placed on your heart, it was placed there because that's your path to walk, right? But if we keep on giving that negative energy, which is anxiety and fear, and it's normal to do that because it's based on our past experience. If I'm 43 and I've never had a successful relationship, it's normal for me to step into anxiety and fear because I'm expecting the same thing to happen again and again. So we have to work at that deeper level first and clear any beliefs, any past stories, any hurt, any trauma that you have with regards to love, dating, and relationships. And you firstly need to step into that complete knowing in your heart space, just like knowing at every level that that's your destiny, that this is, and what will be, and just stepping into that place of trust, right?
Yes, absolutely, and also a surrender, isn't it? That's
Yes.
that's where it becomes the hardest, when you need to let go of the control, and and that's actually the way through, right? The more control you let go of, the easier the journey is.
Yes. And then obviously once you've done the internal work around it and you have that knowing and that trust and you've stepped into your sovereign dating self, right? Then you want to follow that up with intelligent action. Okay. So it's great sort of doing the work with, you can't do the intelligent action without the inner work, because then you'll never succeed. But you want to do the inner work, and then that you want to follow it up with intelligent action. And if I can give your lady some really, really great advice, it's something that I've termed revolving dating. Okay. So revolving dating is how you remain in your power. Okay. And you do that by, like, we think dating is like, when I've been on 3 or 4 dates with someone, then we're dating exclusively, right? And that's part of the smart dating process. It doesn't work that way. The only way you know if you're dating exclusively is if you've had the discussion of dating exclusively. Let me just put this off. So if you've had the discussion of dating exclusively, right? And that is something like, it's usually the guy that says, Anastasia, I want to stop dating other people and I'd like you to do the same too. Right? So it's a direct discussion. It can be a really serious discussion, or it can be like, are we going to see where this goes and stop seeing other people? Then you know it's exclusive. So what do people do? They go into a relationship and they go on 3 or 4 dates, they get physical, they sleep together, they get intimate, and then they assume we're exclusive. Intimacy does not guarantee exclusivity. Exclusivity is only guaranteed when you've had the discussion and you're both under the same understanding, right? So, and that's how people get hurt. So, what I'm saying is, you need to be dating many, 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 many quality, high value men at the same time. When I say dating, I'm talking, you get dating, exclusive dating, committed relationship, long-term relationship. So dating, I'm talking about, it's that phase where you're two grown-ups that are in agreement that you're meeting each other and other grown-ups for interaction, right? Which means that I could be dating 10 people at the same time, but I could only be exclusively dating one person at a time. Now, when you're revolving dating, you're having lots of high touch interactions with lots of people. You're feeding off that energy. You're not attached to the outcome. You're having fun. It's amazing until such time that one guy goes, I want to make you my one and only. Can you please stop dating other people? So what do we do wrong as high achieving women? We set our eye on one specific guy. We go on a date with someone and we're like, oh, I love this person. I want to make this person mine. And then I try and sell him a relationship. And then you're a masculine energy. And it's like, it doesn't work. We don't get sold on one person and then leave everything else and focus all our energy on this person. It never works.
And then you become a pursuer, then you are the one who's pursuing.
Exactly. So you want to lean back and you want lots of men to pursue you. You want to enjoy the process until such time that one that you really like says, can we see where this goes? Can we stop dating other people?
Do you get a lot of, well, that's what I've heard a lot, is the belief that there are no men out there are no good men out there. Because I mean, that's revolving concept sounds absolutely amazing. And I'm sure lots of women would follow that and go like, yep, that's a great idea. However, what I hear often is, well, they're just not there. They're quality guys, not there.
Yes. So it's very similar to when a client says to you, well, there's nothing that I can be happy about in my life, right? It's a belief once again. And if that's your belief, then that's what you're going to see because you're looking through that life through those filtered lenses, and that's what you're going to attract. So a lot of the work that I do with my clients is firstly moving from that victim mentality, like that level 1 and 2 energy, which is there are no quality men, I have to date, I don't want to date, like from that sort of energy to level 4 and 5 energy, like I choose to meet amazing men. So we do a lot of work about changing my energy, because when I change my energy, I attract a different type of person. And sort of opening up to the possibility. Like I had this one client, amazing client, Carmen from Belgium, and she was in her 30s, early 30s. I love working with ladies in their early 30s because they still got their whole life ahead of them. They're still in that childbearing age, right? And if I can just get them before they give into what society's taught them, they can still have a family and be happy if they want that. And Carmen was like, but all the good men are already married and I see them all married. And so we did an exercise, and I actually want to challenge anyone who believes that all the good men are already taken or married to write down 40 reasons why there are high quality men out there.
What do you mean? Oh, how would that
So
sound?
write down 40 reasons why they are amazing. So if your belief is all the good men are already taken, I want you to write out 40 reasons why there are still amazing, great men out there to date.
Mm-hmm. For example, like, well, because there are like 7 billion people and at least half of them are male. So there is just a
Yes.
simple math will show.
Exactly. So that's one. And that's one that I did with her. How many men are there in Belgium? How many are in your age? How many are married, how many are single. So that's what we did. And we said, okay, well, because I'm high value and my energy is different, I'm attracting different men. And as we went through that process, it was a very difficult process for her. So she needed some coaching and help. And I had to sort of throw her little hooks, and then she could sort of create those 40 reasons. But as she did that, what happened? She immediately started dating quality men, and they started showing up because she changed her perspective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the same way you go with the beliefs that I just don't want to do any work. Or how about this one? I don't like online dating, but at the same time, as a busy professional or business owner, a woman is constantly work, home, work,
Yes.
work, work, work. Uh, sometimes girlfriends, but mostly work, 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 work. And at the same time, she's really strong about I don't like online dating.
Yes. So, I mean, here's the thing. I don't like online dating either, but it's a great way to sort of broaden your horizons and to create that abundance. I read a study last night, actually, because I'm busy putting together a proposal for a podcast. Do you know that 5% of people that are married or in long-term relationships today met online? 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a horrific number if you think about the number of people that are online. So 95% of the people that are online don't start, either they remain single or they don't start their relationships.
That's
Okay.
interesting. That's
So
a very interesting number. I would think that it's much, much higher.
I thought so too, because when I looked at a study, it was about 5 years ago, it was 30% of relationships start online, and now
Yeah.
it is 5% of relationship of people who are surveyed that are currently in a long-term or committed relationship met online.
Wow. Okay.
So what does that tell us? That tells us that probably over the last couple of years, online dating has turned into this maze of horror, really, of like all these people, like you have trolls that are online that never meet anyone offline, and like people that are fresh out of relationships that want to prove to themselves that. So the best way to meet someone is in your network and socially. But I always say, like, online dating needs to be a piece of that. So when you create a social life that serves your love life, and you sort of um, approach your network strategically to create a life that you love, that filters quality men through your love life, that needs to be about 60% of what you do, or 70% of what you do, and the other 30% needs to be online dating. Because anything that we do that broadens our horizons and help us step out of our comfort zone is a great way to meet someone. So I believe that online dating is a small part of it. I think matchmakers are a great way when you've done the internal work to meet someone amazing, because they do that matching for you. But socially and through your network, that's the best way to do it. You know, I teach clients, you know, we think that we need to go on more and more and more dates and meet more and more and more men in order to find love, when that's not the truth. You know, the truth is I need to become the best possible version of me so that I can attract that into my life. And that's when it starts happening. So we need to focus on self first. So don't go online dating if you haven't focused on self first. Otherwise, you're gonna end up like me, like exhausted with dating fatigue. And it was a nightmare out there. I promise you, the stories that I can tell you, it was just horrific, right? It doesn't have to be that way.
How long you've been on a dating scene before you found your
Ooh,
one?
okay, so I was single for about 8 years in between two marriages. So for
Mhm.
8 years, I was online dating, offline dating. I tried to matchmake. I was in four really bad relationships. So it's like my relationships just got worse and worse and worse. And then when I started learning about relationships and started the matchmaking business and reading books and writing articles, I started applying what I was learning. So I went on speed dating events, and you know, I realized back then that it couldn't have been that I met all these people and no one was suitable. It was that I wasn't ready, right? And I was protecting myself. I was having this vulnerability shield, like having this expectation of, this is the type of guy that I'm looking for. This is what he needs to be like, act like, do, like having these expectations, and they were really there so that I didn't have to show my real self to anyone,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. Very familiar. I'm very familiar with that journey. I haven't been on a dating scene for that long. Um, yeah, but that moment of true authenticity and coming deeply, deeply into my heart, I remember it very, very specifically when I dropped in into my heart and I said, "That's it. I'm opening it. Like I'm I'm cracking open my heart right now."
Wow.
And within 3 months, I found my twin flame. Like,
Oh, wow. Well, that's amazing. Well, that's the thing, right? When we're love is all around us, it's available to all of us freely. But when we have trauma or childhood patterns, right? It's very hard for us to open up to it, and we need that coaching and that support. Like, you know, you knew what you had to do because you've got the training. And so being opening up your heart to the possibility and having that deep, deep knowing that it's going to be, that's part of it, right? Um, and when you sort of know at every level that this is what I want, but it's sort of overshadowed with doubt and fear because you've got the trauma or the past or the patterns, it can't happen because we attract what we focus on.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. And also, when you said you opened up your heart, what I wanted to say, I forgot, is that it's so important when we meet with men in a dating environment to open up our heart, to be authentic, to be vulnerable, because that's where connection happens. So you could have met that twin flame without having opened up your heart, and there would have been no connection, and you would have
True.
moved on and past each other. And sometimes when we still have that wounding from the past or from our childhood, it's close to impossible to open up our hearts and to let that person in. And that's why we don't have to meet more and more and more men. We need to focus on self first.
Mm, very true. I agree. I can, yeah, sign under every word. So, Benita, tell us, you are running a free event so soon. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yes, I would love to. So it's called Unlock Lasting Love
Okay.
Without Relying on Online Dating. So it's a 5-day workshop. It's 1 hour every day for 5 days, where we are going to teach you about all the internal shifts that need to happen in order for you to find healthy, lasting love. So we're going to look at what's blocking me, and we're going to unlock those unconscious blocks. I guarantee 5 days of breakthrough and transformation, provided you show up and do the work.
Amazing. I'm going to post the link under this live stream so ladies can sign up. Yep, I fully, fully support that because we need all the help we can get. When we are getting on that path, looking for love, and when we're dating, and the more love and support we get from the people outside, the easier the journey. Yeah, and we don't create more trauma in the process, but actually go through that healing and opening. It's beautiful, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate that. And yes, I completely agree with you. When we have someone that has a process that works, that's implemented it again and again, we can learn through positive experience, right? Rather than by
Yes.
making mistakes.
Yes, and also knowing that it works and other women went through it and it was successful, so you can actually trust that it's going to work for you, because our little voice has all those objections. It's like, no,
Yes.
someone else can, but I can't find it. My standards are too high, or I don't have time, or my man is gonna find me. Just I'm just gonna sit here. He's gonna find me. Which is, you do need an energy flow. You need to start moving the energy in order for something to come to you. It's like with any
Completely
process.
agree. Yes,
Yes. And
totally agree.
yeah, and I love what you said about intelligent action.
Mm.
Action has to be intelligent.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We can't be going on dates with men we have nothing in common with. That's soul destroying. I hate that. I mean, that
Mm,
just got me when I was single.
mm.
Mm.
Wow, incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here and sharing your wisdom, sharing your knowledge. We're going to share the link, and looking forward to hearing about your free workshop. I've signed up, so I'm going to be there. I'm going to listen.
Amazing. Thank you. I'll see you then. Bye.
Thank you, Benita. Bye.